I think something that would only happen in Japanese schools that I've experienced, the concho. Where they take the fingers and they ram them up someone's butt. I think the first time I saw that happen, I was just like, because in the US, no one does that. You have to let the students know, no, we don't do that here. Not in my class. Like, I don't want that happening to me or anybody else here. They're sneaky with it. Because especially when they're younger, like they're quite low level, so access is pretty easy for them. But like one of the craziest things though was, because it used to just be concho from behind, but then suddenly I would experience it from the front. And I was like, I don't even know what this is. I don't even know if this is concho anymore. Like, what's happening? Like, why are we doing this? Stop. My name is Patrick Smith, and I am a comedy / skit type content creator. I teach, and when I have time, I make content.
Wait, should I drink it? Yes? Okay.
What is the craziest thing that's happened as a teacher of young kids in Japan? It was probably when a kid who was in a kindergarten class of mine, we were lining up to go somewhere, and he was in the front of the line next to me. He was looking at my hand and looking at his own, and I noticed him looking at my hand, and I'm like, okay, he's probably like wondering why I'm all brown. Why is my hand brown? You know, that's normal. Kids in Japan often wonder that. But then, you know, I was looking somewhere else and suddenly I felt his tongue on my hand. He had licked my hand. And I was like, okay, he's probably thinking I'm chocolate. So I was like, oh, let's not do that. I'm not chocolate, okay? Don't lick me, please. October 2019 was my very first TikTok video. I wasn't on Instagram yet, it was just TikTok. And I was just doing like dance content back then. But then I saw lots of other kinds of content on the For You page, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of fun. And I like acting. I've always been really into drama and, you know, performing. So I was like, let me make some skits.
Daddy, ohayo.
Ohayo.
I always tell people my content's like the most boring, dull, like uninteresting content, because I literally just pick up my phone and I'm like, oh, this happened today. And I don't feel pressure to post a certain amount of times a week. And I think that's really helped to keep me from being overwhelmed by all the things that I try to do with social media. I can focus time on my teaching, my lesson planning. I can devote time to taking Japanese classes. Only when I get really inspired will I like leap to it and film something. But that doesn't happen as often these days, so that's probably the most difficult thing for me. Since moving to Tokyo, I did get the chance to join a couple agencies and had a few opportunities to do some pretty cool stuff. I've done like dance routines in groups, different photo shoots. The weirdest or most, I think, unique gig I guess I had was when I got to film a CM for this mobile phone game. It was like this big room with all this like glitter and stuff, and I had to wear this white suit with a rainbow wig and had makeup on and this scarf and stuff. And so I got to just like dance around with all this confetti flying everywhere and wind blowing on me and throwing out these crystals and stuff. It was crazy. I had someone coming up to me and like fixing my makeup and fixing my hair, and I was like, this is too much. Like, this is not the space that I belong in as like a teacher. I had imposter syndrome, I guess. As far as inspiration and the drive for me to pursue a career in English teaching, it all came from a desire to move abroad. I wanted to live in China when I first moved there. I wanted to live in Japan eventually. And one of the easiest ways to do that was through English teaching. I was actually from a city that was quite dangerous. Flint used to be the most dangerous city in all of the US at one point. It used to have, no, it still has poisonous water, like underground, and like it's a whole big controversy. In terms of support and reactions, I guess, that people had back home when I first told them I wanted to move abroad. My siblings were pretty supportive of me moving abroad. My mom was absolutely not. She wanted me to stay home. She still, to this day, will say, you need to come home. You just need to come on back home, Patrick. I have this weird compulsion to hold on to everything I posted. It feels like I'm not being genuine if I take down stuff that I don't like. It's always weird when I see, oh, this person from high school follows me. Let me follow them back. Because now I'm like, oh, they have access now to all of my cringy stuff from 2 years ago that I made. I have had some not so good comments from people, usually the trolls, the racists, they're always there. I've also gotten some, inappropriate DMs from people, to put it lightly. The one thing that I wish I knew is that you will really never be able to have your privacy back. Anytime I was in an area that had foreigners around, I would get nervous. They'd look at you and then look again. And so I'm like, does this person know me? Do they not know me? And so that constant not nervousness, but just being unsure about it, I guess. I've never really been able to get rid of that. And that's the one thing I wish I had thought more about before going into this space.
I got me. Okay, so boys and girls, I want to show you something, okay?
Show you?
Not show you. Show you. Okay, here we go.
The reason I stopped English teaching and transitioned to a more we say homeroom teacher type position, I loved connecting with my students. That was always the most important thing for me. I wanted to go from having them for 40 minutes a day to having my own class that I'm teaching throughout the day. Yeah, I got my teaching license, transitioned from Japanese schools to an international school where I could have that kind of position and have that kind of impact. My team teacher and I, we've created this atmosphere of friendly banter with the kids where they are so quick to not criticize, but call us out for things because we call them out for things all the time. That's wrong, or oh, you messed up, you're fired, stuff like that. And they're 6 years old, 7 years old, they laugh, they roll with it. But then they adopted that and started to do the same thing to us. We were talking about cause and effect, and I wrote C, and instead of writing E, I wrote A. I don't know why, I was having a moment, a brain moment. So I wrote A, and they were like, it's not A, Mr. Patrick, it's E. Wrong, womp womp, you're fired, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, we just looked at each other. My team and I just looked at each other and just laughed. They're just so quick to call us out. And then this week, we were talking about cause and effect again. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to write cause and effect. And they were like, don't write it with an A. It's an E, Mr. Patrick. Don't forget. Last time. Moments like that really just, it's one of the reasons I love teaching kids. They're so funny. They do it way too much now. It's I've created a monster. But I'm also I'm proud. They've really absorbed that from me. I taught them something, and they'll probably take it with them to the next year's teacher, which might be much to their dismay. The moment that I knew this was for me, and even feeling Japan is home, I can see myself living here long term. Kids, they're gonna latch onto you, they're gonna hold your hand, things like that all the time because they're kids, right? But when their parents come and tell you things oh, my son or daughter talks about you all the time, they told me about how you said this and that and the other, and they share, the kids are sharing their stories, my stories, with their parents. That your presence is really meaningful to the kids. You might have really, really made an impact on them and made them want to pursue life abroad, or building up their English skills, and they might end up marrying someone who's foreign and having a family and living in Australia or something. You never know where things could go from your presence in their classrooms. So being able to influence people in a positive way is really meaningful to me. I don't think I would ever choose to become a content creator full time. I remember the first few years I considered that possibility, knowing that like, okay, I'm on the rise and I could go somewhere with this. I could make it a career. I did consider that a few times, but I think the passion I have for the students I teach has always trumped any sort of, I don't know, recognition or success I could have through social media. If I completely fell off and like no one, like everyone forgot about me, it would be totally fine because I have my job as a teacher that I enjoy, that I am passionate about, that I rely on. The social media stuff I like also, but it's just on the side. It's always been the side. It will always be just the side. I would like to publish a book. I would love to write a kid's book sometime. That would be really cool to be able to say you've written a kid's book, right? In terms of me as a person, I would love to settle down, get married, have a family. I love kids again, so I'd love to have a family. Favorite movie is The Ring. I love The Ring. I've watched it so many times. It's a weird one. It's a weird choice for a favorite horror movie, but I like that one. I've seen the original Ringu, the Japanese version. I like The Ring a bit more, just because of the effects. They're a bit better. When I tell Japanese people that, they always go, why? American horror is like, a lot of it is like slash, bloody, gory stuff. I don't like that so much. I like just being able to watch a movie. It's simple, but it's still so creepy. Like it leaves you like disturbed. It leaves you like, wow, like I'm scared to turn off the lights tonight. Music, I really like Utada Hikaru because I've been a fan of hers since I was like way younger, when I was a kid, when the first Kingdom Hearts game came out. Oof, my favorite song of Utada Hikaru is actually a really sad song. It's called Manatsu no Toriyame. Okay. Hanataba o kimi ni. Yeah, Hanataba o kimi ni. That's a good one. Hanataba o kimi o kuro. I'm not confident in my Japanese again. But it's like da 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 da.